Okay, I'm going to create a really quick tutorial on how to create Google Sites. So however you're into Google, whether you're in your mail or your calendar or your documents, what you need to do is click on Sites. And what I'm going to see is my sites in Leiden212.org. Now obviously I've created a bunch of sites, so I'm seeing all of these sites here. You may not see that because you may not have created any sites yet, or that you may not have any sites shared with you at this moment. So it might look a little different. The important thing is you want to go to right here, Create New Site, and it's about that easy. So when you click on that, it gives you a couple of options. I usually choose the blank template. That's just me. However, just to show you, you can browse the gallery for more. And there's all sorts of templates on there which are great. There's one in Leiden212. We're going to start to be able to share templates. This is a John Rossi creation. Thanks, John, for that. You can use that if you want. But I'm just going to click on this really quickly. Business collaboration or whatever. I usually end up, I've tried these templates, I end up deleting all the other bells and whistles, and what I end up with is just a blank site, which is what I'm going to start with anyway. So you can use these for purposes of this. I'm just going to create a new site, and I'm going to use the blank template. I'm going to name my site. This is going to be Leiden Google Apps, because what I'm going to eventually do is use this site to put some tutorials on all sorts of Google apps, Google Docs, spreadsheets, forms, and this video will be posted under Google Sites. You can notice that this is going to be the URL for this page. It does it automatically, you didn't have to do anything. So you can also choose a theme. And the eagle is by default going to be there. You'll see the little eagle in the top left. You can use any of these, and you can change any of this at any time. I'm just going to use Iceberg. It's got a nice blue theme to it, and then create site. I'm going to go under more options. You don't necessarily have to do this. You can create site categories for people if they want to search on your site. I'm going to call it Google. It's just sort of tagging it if people are going to be able to search on it. Collaborate with everybody at Leiden High Schools. I'll get into permissions in a second. So I'm just going to create the site and get it going. Boom, and there it is. I've just created a site. It's Leiden Google Apps, and it starts off by default giving you a home screen, and that's this is the screen that everybody is going to see when they log into the site or click on a link. Now what I want to do first off is check out the permissions. That's really important. Right now you can see up here it gives you this little link. That's telling me as the editor or as the owner of this site who has permission. I'm just going to click on that just to make sure I know what's going on. Okay, right now anybody at Leiden High Schools, and that means staff only, not students, they can find it and edit it. I don't want everybody to edit it, and maybe until I'm done I don't want anybody to be able to see it other than myself. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. So you see the options. I could make it totally public. Anybody could find it. Anybody I send the link to. Leiden High Schools can find and access. Anybody with Leiden with the link. Or right now, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it people at Leiden High Schools can find and access. I don't really care if they see my unfinished work, but I don't really want them to edit it. So I'm going to unclick that edit button. Now, I'm going to hit save. Boom. So right now, by default, I'm the only one that can change things on it. Anybody at Leiden can find this, no matter what form it's in. I could have shut that off and say I'm the only one that can see it. But I could also add a collaborator. So maybe I want everybody at Leiden to be able to view it, but maybe have another couple of collaborators like Jason Markey, and he can edit it, and Brian Weinert can edit it, and maybe Tatiana Manuma can edit it, and I'll leave it at that. And what I would do is share and save. I don't want them to be able to edit it just yet though. We'll get back to that. So, right now, anybody at Leiden can find the site, can view it, and that's all I really want. And you just save. Now, let me cancel. Alright. Sorry, I was looking for somebody to share with, and I didn't want to share. So, I'm done. Alright, so here we go. Really quickly, so that's permissions. It's always good to check that out when you're building a site, just to see who can add it, or who can view it, and who can edit it. So, more importantly, what I want to show you how to do is create pages, because you probably, along the left here, want to create some pages, create some links. So what I'm going to do is create a page. That's all you got to do, create page. And what do I want to call it? I'm going to call it Google Docs. Now, I'm going to number it. By default, you'll see what it tries to do along the left. By default, it's going to try to alphabetize it. You can turn that off. That's a little more complex than I want to do for this video, but it's going to try to alphabetize it. And if I want to make sure I have it in the order I want, you can also kind of trick it by numbering the pages. I'll show you how that works. I'm going to put it at the top level, which means it's going to be justified all to the right. It's not going to be a sub-page. I'll show you how that works. I'm just going to hit Create Page. Boom, Google Docs. It automatically goes into an editing mode. So it assumes you want to put some content in here, so I'll just type in, I will place Google Docs tutorials here. And all you got to do is save. Alright, so I'm going to create a couple more pages really quick. Create, and I'm going to do page number 2, Google Spreadsheets. I'm going to leave it at the top level. I could put it under Google Docs as like a sub-page, kind of like indented, but I'm not. Just leave it at top level. Create page. More info to come. You could leave it blank, but I'm just going to put something in there to save it. My changes have been saved, and I'm going to do a couple more. Google Forms. And you can see the site is slowly starting to build there. And I'm going to do create one more page. Google Sites. Oops, I will number it just to make sure it is in the order that I want it. Now I could have used, A, Google Docs, B, Google Spreadsheets, C, and D. That would have worked too. Just so you know. Or you can just let it alphabetize it however you want. That's fine. I wanted it in this specific order. So, I'm going to do actually 2 more pages. I want to show you sub-pages. So, I'm in Google Sites, and I'm going to have 2 pages underneath that. I want Basic. I'm going to show you some basic stuff on Google Sites, and then Advanced. So I'm going to create page. And in this case, I'm going to select under number 4, Google Sites. I'm going to letter it Basic. And so I've got my page here, Basic, and I'll just type in info here. Don't know why that's italic, but I'll highlight it. I'll show you how to change some of these things here, but basically when you're in edit mode, you've got this toolbar that's kind of helpful. So I hit save. And then again, I want to cite another page rather underneath my Google Sites. I'm going to call that Advanced. So create page. And I'm going to letter it just to keep it alphabetized the way I want it. And so I'm going to put that page under Google Sites. And then that's it. I will save it. And you can see underneath Google Sites I've got 2 subpages, and that arrow can kind of go back and forth. You can open it or close it, and that's it. And from here I'll show you how to add content and maybe change the font, change the colors, things like that.